Hi everybody, I hope y'all are doing well. Today I'm taking a slow day and I have a little extra time to make y'all a video. So today I thought I would make a video about a movie I recently watched. The movie is called Like Water for Chocolate, or in Spanish it's called Como Agua para Chocolate. And this movie came out in 1992. It's a very beautiful movie, but I want to preface it with something before I start talking about it. The reason I'm talking about this movie is because it very much paralleled or reminded me of my twin flame journey. I don't know if the movie was meant to be a twin flame movie or not, but it sure does follow those progression and those steps, or whatever you want to call it, in the twin flame journey. So twin flames are apparently two people sharing one soul. Now, to me, that's all been seen. It's just an illusion and it's not real. It's just something that's happening here. But it's just all a play of life like everything else is. And it never really was. So it's a very, very sweet story. And it is what brought me to non-duality, which is why I speak of it. I had a twin flame journey. I didn't know that I was on a twin flame journey. I didn't know that I had a non-dual realization. I didn't know any of these things till after the fact, when I had to sort of Google and research, like, why is this happening to me, or has this happened to anybody? And come to find out, this is a way that some people reach this realization, and it's not something that you can orchestrate or work on or do or teach. So it's easy to speak of because it's just something that happens, just like anything else. And there's no prescription or anything behind it. It's just something that happens. If it happens this way, it happens this way. So that's just to say it can happen any which way, even without you knowing what it is. So the movie itself is a love story, a very soulful and just meaty love story. I really would recommend y'all watch it. I'm not going to share everything in that movie because it is very detailed and it's magical and just all kinds of things. I just recommend y'all watch it. But I wanted to point towards something in that movie that I do want to share with y'all. So in the movie there are, the main character's name is Tita, and she is a young woman that kind of was destined to take care of her mother for the rest of her life, but she falls in love with a man, and she's kind of not allowed to marry him or to pursue that because her role in that culture is to take care of her mother as the youngest daughter, I believe, of the bunch, I think, or maybe she's the oldest, one or the other. So in that culture, that is what's required. So there is that whole story where she's, still in love with this man, and she's forbidden for being with him, and so that whole story. And there's so much more beautiful stuff about it. This movie brings out all the senses. She cooks, and the cooking ignites passions and feelings in people, and whatever she puts into it while she's cooking, that's released out to whoever eats it, and absorbed, and then they start feeling that. So it's very interesting. I would definitely recommend the movie once again. But anyhow, Tita is the main character, and she's in love with this man that she can't be with. Well, things happen, and it gets to the point where she leaves home. She can't take it anymore. She can't take care of her mother. She's done with it. So she runs away. Basically, her mother also kind of disowns her, and it's just, she leaves. And she stays with the doctor, who is fond of her. The doctor, I believe, is Dr. Brown. And Dr. Brown is fond of her, and he likes her in a romantic way. She's not so sure. She definitely sees that he cares and he's a nice guy, but she is in love with somebody already. Anyhow, Dr. Brown shares with her a story. Once she's run away, she's staying with him. He takes her in, and she's not talking. She's in a very depressive state, and he asks her to write on the wall. And she writes on the wall with some supplies he had that he was making matches. And she writes, "I don't want to talk." And he respects that. So he gave her her freedom in that moment, something that she had never had. So I thought that was a powerful moment where she was given freedom to really express what she was thinking or wanting to do or not wanting to do, and she did that. So in the movie, that's where you see her having her first experience of freedom or liberation. But then he goes on to explain that he's making matches and he's talking to her about matches. And the matches symbolize something. He shares with her that inside each and every one of us is a box of matches. And in life, we have this box of matches. And at some point, we will find something, if we're lucky, we'll find someone, something that will ignite all of those matches at once. And that'll be it. And so that is a very beautiful symbol of the matches. And I really like that idea because if you think about it with the twin flame journey, that's how it is. It's like we always had this box of matches in us. And then once we meet that twin flame and there is that connection, it's like it's all ignited and you just know it instantly and you're just on fire basically. So it's amazing, and you lose yourself in that. And he goes on to speak of that, how basically after that, that's it. And you know, if it's strong enough, you can die from it. And that's what ends up happening in this movie. Eventually Tita and the person that she was in love with get together and they have a connection. They're able to be together, and he combusts and dies. So it's a very interesting movie. But again, it follows my twin flame journey so much because I do feel that there is maybe not literally a box of matches inside of me, but there is something in us. And there can be passions, like maybe you're passionate about art, music, who knows, something, people, your job. Maybe it is a person you're in love with. And when you come across that, it ignites a spark. And it might just light one match, or it might just be a spark. But when it's really real and it's really felt and loved and you're in that moment, it could just ignite all the matches. And I also feel that that's how the non-dual realization is as well. So for me, this whole story and the movie really does follow my twin flame journey, the different steps and all of that. But I see the box of matches more as a non-dual realization than just the connection with the twin flame. So I did have the connection with my twin flame, and I will say that it was a spark, and maybe many of the matches were lit, but I wouldn't say all. So there was a spark there, and the match was lit, and it stayed lit, and I would say that. But if you take the whole twin flame journey, the whole process of it, the whole process is really to realize that your true nature is something divine. And there is really no self. So you lose yourself, and you don't need your twin flame at that point when you make the complete journey, the twin flame journey. And you can watch some of my previous videos about it to know what the twin flame journey is. But ultimately, the end is you go into union. And that means oneness. And, you realize that everything, it just is. And there is no selves. Everything is just happening, and we are all the same essence, material, whatever you want to call it, fabric. We're all the same fabric. So, anyhow, when all the matches are lit and you combust and there is no self, that is the non-dual realization. Or the no self-realization, whatever, enlightenment, awakening, whatever you want to call it. So many people have called it so many different things. Words don't really matter when it comes to this. But when it's felt, it's really recognized that all the matches were lit. So I think that was a very neat analogy for the non-dual realization, and I really appreciated watching that movie. My parents shared that movie with me. They were wanting to share that movie with me for a while. They love movies, and this particular movie is very special to them. And I always wonder if they really realize what the true meaning of that movie is. And maybe the true meaning for them is something completely different. So each person is different, and whatever they get out of it, whatever is happening with that person, is completely what needs to happen. So, but from my perspective, it was a beautiful story of a twin flame journey making full circle into union. And yes, the man combusted and died, and who knows what really happened with Tita, if she survived or if she went on in life, or what happened, or, you know, I'm assuming she had the non-dual realization, but what happened in the story is that the man combusted and he was no more. So that's also to show that he just went back to nothingness, to what everything is, to that fabric, and that was that. And so there is just different components you can see from the movie about it. In my twin flame journey, my twin flame died as well, and he died in a way to go back into union with me. And then it was just all seen that there was no him, there is no me, we're not really in union. We were already in union. Everything is already just what it is. It's one fabric. It's just that. But for the person to have these magical, beautiful stories of life, it has to be felt in this way. So the journey happens in this way, and then you just realize there was no journey at all. Nothing really ever happened to begin with. But it's interesting how the human experience puts us through all these different things. And my dog's barking, but in order to have a beautiful story and to realize how beautiful what is really is. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you're interested in the movie, I would check it out. It's Like Water for Chocolate. Or if you speak Spanish and want to watch the Spanish version, it's Como Agua para Chocolate. Okay, thank you for watching.